Hello.
Hello.
Here we are again.
Here we are.
The Canadian Bro Show.
Welcome back.
Nice to have you back.
This is Paul Bale.
Nice to be back. This is Johnny Leister.
Thanks for tuning in.
We are all things Canadian in the
Okay.
Canadian Bro Show. And it's essentially all things Canadian with Paul and Johnny. We talk about a lot of things, but mostly we want to talk about Canadian stuff because we're Canadians, eh? We're hosers. You know,
Speak for yourself.
You're a magic hoser. I'm just a regular hoser.
The Grand Poobah of hosers.
But thanks again. I mean, you know, we just started this channel and we're
Episode
learning
6.
every day. We're in a brand new studio, which is really cool. Johnny, where are we?
We are at the Vancouver Public Library in downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah,
The
fantastic.
Great White North.
Eh?
Only it's not snowing in summer.
How's it going, eh?
Yeah.
And we're in the studio and it's free. And it's private, and we've got it for a couple
Very
of hours.
reasonably priced.
Extremely reasonably priced. They're not serving any beverages or anything like that, but there is a washroom close by. So if we do have to take a break,
Which Johnny needs.
which
He's got a bladder
occasionally,
like an infant.
you know, as you get older,
That's the thing.
certain things happen in your body, and you've got to adjust. But today I want to just say thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We want to talk about something that's dear to our hearts, our spirit, our soul. And that is health and well-being, because Johnny and I both have stories. We're both going through a transformation, an evolution,
Right.
a transformation, a spiritual, a soulful.
At the end of the day, we're all works in progress.
We are
right?
all works in progress, but we're actually making an effort. And
learning and growing.
and essentially, we want to talk about today. Health and well-being is what we put in our vessel. This is the only vessel we're carrying this time. This
fuel.
time around. What is the fuel? What makes us tick?
And as Jack LaLanne famously said, most guys treat their cars better than their bodies.
Very true. And for
Right.
those that don't know Jack LaLanne, yes, we are dating ourselves. We're almost 60 years old. Johnny just
lot of
turned.
young people know who
Johnny
he is,
just
I've
turned
discovered.
59. He just had a
59. Feeling
celeb.
fine at 59.
We had a nice celebratory beverage or two or three.
Or possibly in the double digits.
Could have been more. Yeah.
Hard to remember
But,
for some reason.
Every once in a while, you just got to let loose, right? That's part of your health and well-being once a year.
When Pauly and I indulge in our vices, we feel like we earned them, right? They're the reward.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not pay yourself back for all the hard work and discipline that we're doing? But we want to start off by talking about Johnny's journey before we get into my journey. They're very similar and synonymous in many ways. But Johnny, you at one point, how many years ago, woke up and you were a fat, bloated
I
loser?
was a real loser. I was.
That's a bit
I mean,
harsh.
I just had carved out this niche for myself that I was comfortable in. It was my quote-unquote comfort zone. And I've always loved watching movies and TV shows and indulging in stories and indulging in junk food. 5 years ago, I want to say 2019, I weighed anywhere from 235 to 250 pounds. I'm a recovering sugar addict, and I was just pounding down KFC and pizza every night. It's a wonder that I'm still alive, thank you, God. And then I just hit a wall. I just hit a saturation point, and you can cut me off at any point if you like. But basically, it was just loneliness. I was spending way too much
people
time by
wanna hear.
myself. And that was the beginning of my real life's journey. Chronologically speaking, I'm 59, but in terms of my faith and my belief in God, I like to think of myself as a 5-year-old in that sense. And so once I let God into my life, I began to love myself for the first time. And when we love ourselves, that will motivate us to take better care of ourselves. So for example, I would go to the supermarket and vegetables started looking attractive to me. And I started eating this stuff, especially garlic. Hopefully my breath isn't too horrible today. And again, you know, we have to treat our bodies as if they are sacred. Because if we're physically weak, we're not going to be motivated to do whatever it is that we want to do.
Yeah,
with our
and
lives.
you know what? Aside from your garlic breath, and I love garlic, and it's a
best.
good thing I do. Garlic is seriously it's the essence of
It is
one's
the
soul and
superest of
spirit.
superfoods.
It really is incredible. And so you've lost how much weight in this journey
I
so far?
want to say 65 pounds.
Good Lord.
And I've kept it off because I will never go back to that life again,
Yeah.
that sedentary life. Doing the podcast with you and my writing, and I have my own podcast, plug, the Johnny's Way podcast, and working out and posting
Which
videos.
is on Spotify.
Spotify, yes, and posting videos of myself. Sorry, bro. And posting videos of myself.
He just
working
touched
out.
me indiscriminately. Or intentionally. That will be the last today.
Moving forward,
Good Lord.
the way that I'm living my life
I know it's
now
tight in here and everything.
is so much more fun.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm telling people. It's the difference between living and existing. So what about your journey? Because you've also dramatically lost a lot of weight over the last few months.
Yeah, I mean, my journey of health and well-being has been a lifelong journey. I've been an athlete all my life, up until sort of recently. But
Star athlete, professional athlete.
I used to play professional basketball, but I played all sports in my life. The only two sports I ever played were cricket and rugby, for obvious reasons. One, I was no interested in cricket, although the uniforms are really nice and the equipment looked really cool. It looks like
complicated rules.
yeah, it looks like you were an extra in Logan's Run back in the mid '70s. But aside from that, it's just sports, activity, working out. Our family's been in the vitamin business and healthcare business for the better part of 70 years.
Wow.
In fact, my Uncle Stefan, who's 78, still has a vitamin store in
Now,
Calgary.
does your family actually manufacture the vitamins?
No.
They distribute the vitamins.
They were
see.
distributors. They were wholesalers, and they did. My uncle actually brought in something called an incredible edible back in the 70s that was way before its time, and it was organic yogurt in the middle with 2 organic cookies, and you could have different types, and it was like blackberry and blueberry with a chocolate cookie outside. Oh, they were delicious.
That sounds very delectable.
I used to go by my grandmother's vitamin store daily just to steal one, or ask for one for free and not pay for it. They were quite expensive back then. But anyways, my journey is not as exciting as Johnny.
It's doubly more exciting.
18 months ago, I'm a real estate agent. I've been in real estate for 21 years. That's my real job.
If you watch one of his videos on YouTube, Paul Bale, you can see him in a suit. He's like twice what he is now. Right?
My last video, the last sale I did in my building, I've sold 26 units in the building. I live 5 minutes from here, and I was watching my video, and this was last January, and I was like, "Who is that? That is disgusting."
On the portly side.
I was fat. I was basically 240 pounds.
And
but
you
I
weren't
didn't,
happy, right?
I didn't. No, I was bloated, fat, obese, and I was miserable. And I got myself on the weight, and I just panicked and freaked out. Called my doctor.
Sometimes we have to hit bottom in order to.
It wasn't
climb up
bottom, but
again.
I didn't want to get any worse than that.
Right.
My vanity and ego were kicking in. I was like, my God, I look horrible. So did blood work, did tests.
Okay.
Found out that I had some issues. I had
Did you have
iron
high blood
deficiency.
pressure?
I had
What about type
hypertension,
2
high
diabetes?
blood. No, not
No?
yet.
That's good.
Type 1 close. And I was obese, and I had fatty liver. Don't ask me how I got the fatty liver. I have no idea whatsoever. But I decided to do a series of blood tests, and through the journey, found out what my problems were and addressed it. Went on a strict cleanse for 3 months. Nothing. No sugar, no booze.
The sugar's the worst.
No processed food, no sodium, nothing. And then started walking, power walking every day, 10,000 plus steps.
And you're quite the cyclist as well.
I don't power walk because my wheels are old. I've got millions of miles on my feet and my knees, and I decided to bike. I've been biking since we met in 1972. And that was our major mode of transportation, walking and biking or the bus.
Vancouver's a very easy city to get around.
It is even easier now. Yeah. But and that's really saved my life. Every morning I start on my journey. I do 18K every morning. I ride the seawall. It's flat. It's easy. I can do it in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I feel great. And I get the heart racing. And then I have my power shake. I have a very healthy power shake. I do intermittent fasting 4 times a week, so I won't eat for 16 hours.
I can't do that.
I know, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do it.
Whatever works.
It's just practicing discipline.
Here's a little bit of advice. If you're feeling depressed, just move around. Just go for a
Be
walk.
active.
Move your body, and you will feel better. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point. So intermittent fasting is one of the things I did. The other thing is that I started to not eat past 6 o'clock.
Oh.
So that the intermittent fasting would work all the way to 4 o'clock. I'd get 14 to 16 hours without anything except my power shake in the morning to get nutrients and all of that. And power shake is super healthy. A lot of stuff people would never even bother to put in. But, once you put blueberries in and some kefir, everything tastes the same. It's all super healthy.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great actor. Canadian.
Kefir is really healthy probiotic.
What is kefir? What is it?
It's like
Is it an herb?
it's a liquid Greek yogurt,
Oh.
and it's fermented, and it gets in and helps the digestive tract and cleans out the entire colon and the bile duct, and helps you stay regular. We don't really want to talk about that, but that
Regularity
is
is very important.
extremely important.
It's okay.
Yeah,
We're-
I know
we're
it's all good.
grown-ups.
We just
We can
you
talk
know,
about
and the next thing is Johnny was doing videos for years where he was half naked most of the time in his apartment.
Until YouTube fired me for violating their nudity clause.
Well,
I'm back on YouTube now. Though.
when
They
Johnny
forgave me.
Johnny signed up for YouTube,
Was he
he
shirtless?
he didn't realize that there was a no moob clause. People
no man
don't.
boobs allowed.
Yeah, if moobs jiggle, that means they're fat, and if the moobs are on a male, people probably don't want to see
No
that.
matter how much weight I lift, no matter how many reps and sets I do,
Yeah.
I'm always going to have the man boobs. This is just the way my body is built.
And YouTube has a very strict protocol,
Yeah,
and
their
that is
algorithm probably confused.
no
confused.
nudity.
Yeah.
Period. Although, if Johnny was wearing a sheer top from Winners, and he showed everyone his moves, they would allow it with the sheer, even though you can see through it.
Wow.
That's what the ladies are doing right
Very
now on YouTube.
arbitrary.
Just to get around the whole nudity thing. It's really disturbing. But
But I'm
nonetheless,
back now. I recently restarted my YouTube
I know,
channel.
and
Yeah.
so they
I
do
guess there was
forgive
a
you.
statute of limitations.
but we are a family show, so we will always want to
Yeah.
try to keep it clean.
Anyway,
But-
I work out with my shirt on now.
so what is your workout routine? Because you have a very systematic approach.
It's very regular. I mean, I do yoga every morning. I recently injured myself. We talked about this on another podcast. I was doing concentration curls, and I felt this lightning bolt of agony hit my hip, and it sort of coruscated to my quadricep and my groin, and it was excruciatingly painful. Thank God for Tiger Balm. Anyone out there, if you ever injure your body, Tiger Balm is absolutely amazing. Now, when I was in my mid-20s, I actually gave myself a pinched nerve. I was walking around like a little old lady for 2 days, and that's when I started yoga. I got Yoga for Dummies
Love
from
yoga.
the library.
Love it.
And if you never exercise, folks, what do animals do first thing when they wake up? What's the first thing they do? They stretch. Right?
Yawn, stretch, and then possibly pass wind.
Probably very likely. For goodness sakes, you've got to stretch your back. That's the first thing that all of us should do first thing in the morning, because our bodies contract as we get older, right? That's what you see a lot of senior people, like we're 59, right? There's people our age walking around
We're considered seniors.
like yeah, technically speaking.
They give us discounts at like Shoppers Drug Mart of 10%
pretty soon.
because we're like seniors.
The pension's the $400 a year pension's going to kick in another
Just
6 years.
Wait till it's 65, Johnny. You get 36% more.
But that's why you see people walking around like this, which is very sad.
Yeah.
And it's just not a good quality of life. So as much as we hate exercise sometimes because it can be drudgery, for goodness sakes, at least stretch.
I'm addicted to it.
It's an investment.
And honestly, I worked out my whole life in sports, and I
Yeah.
always stretched before playing sports,
Most important, yeah.
especially basketball.
And warm up a little bit.
Always.
Right?
Always.
So I do yoga, I lift weights. I was doing 5 sets, but now I've reduced it to 1 set. I'm never going to be...
And
I'm
he was
never gonna
power
be
walking every morning to work for
I
a
used to
long
do that.
period.
I used to walk half an hour to work every morning, but I had to stop doing that because of the tendons in my feet.
Yeah.
But my job, my security job that I'm working right now, is very physically demanding. I mean, I'm walking 3 to 4 hours every shift. There's heavy lifting and dealing with difficult people.
And if you
So
saw
then-
Johnny's feet, you would
Flippers.
understand that. No, he's got their biverines. If you know what a biverine is,
I
it's
know,
it's
actually.
it's like a Bigfoot's foot.
He's not wrong.
They're size 13 and they go out like boats.
They do.
If there was ever a tsunami in the downtown core, Johnny would just float out of here in those bad boys.
That is a very good point. And if New Balance wants to sponsor our show, that's all I wear. That's
Or Hoku.
basically the only company.
Or Hoku, don't count out the other players,
Well,
right?
no, I'm just saying as an example.
Well, no, fair enough.
So, yoga, weightlifting, walking, and, it's enough. What
So,
about your workout? We talked about that already.
Mine's very similar. It's
Yeah.
it's
But
essentially
you lift weights?
I do incorporate weights because of muscle atrophy as we get older.
Right. That's a good
I
point.
used to have taunt moves, but now they're a little bit more muscle atrophy moves. And if they jiggle, it's fat. So we replace muscle for fat.
Right.
And that's the only way to do it, is incorporate weights, which is really important as we get older, muscle atrophy. But as Johnny mentioned in the very beginning, staying active, movement.
And
So-
also, if you're like us, if you're sort of like, going back and forth, just keep this in mind. Exercise and being in shape, it's not all about ego and vanity. It's about energy. We need to have energy to do whatever it is that we want to do with our lives.
Yeah.
And since I lost the 65 pounds, and I do have a little bit of muscle on my frame, it's very motivating, and that's why you and I, part of the reason why you and I are doing this podcast right now. If I still weighed 235 pounds, Pauly would be doing the podcast with someone else right now, because I'd be way too self-conscious.
I might have to at some point anyways.
Well, that's true too.
It depends. When the contract runs out...
I'm technically a sidekick.
When a contract runs out...
He's Batman, I'm Robin.
I have to look at, my right-hand man and think, or in this case, my left-hand man, is the man pulling his weight? And right now I'd have to say he's passing with flying colors.
Oh, thank
But
you.
getting back to the workout and health and well-being, activity, movement, cardio,
Breathing.
biking, weights, swimming, power walking. And then the next thing I think is really important is you got to feed yourself properly to be able to get the energy to work out.
Absolutely.
But in order to feed yourself, you need proper sleep. The most important thing when we get to our age, or any age really, is sleeping patterns. We have to get our 6 to 8 hours, ideally 7 to 8 at our age categories, and good, clean, crisp, hardcore sleep at least 4 or 5 hours. And once you can do that, and then systematically get your workout program, get your business program, get your job program, get your psychological program, your sociological program, all of a sudden,
everything in balance.
You're turning into your own superhero for the first time.
Well, you're manifesting your mind-side version of yourself versus procrastinating and maybe tomorrow, and my ship has sailed.
But you're also discovering that you can do this, that you can succeed, that this is important to you.
And I've discovered how much more fun I'm having now being a player in the game of
more
life.
Energy, more rest, more energy. Now we can write.
And
by the
more
way,
motivation.
John's a prolific writer.
Thank you.
We've talked about this many times. I'm always going to bring it up. For those that are
Feel free.
literary agents, to contact Johnny or myself directly and let Johnny showcase some of his work. He's really very, very
I'll write
talented.
for food.
I'm serious.
Not too
He'll
expensive.
he'll write for anything, pretty much. We haven't had any offers yet, but
But hope springs eternal.
Absolutely. And so sleep's really important. And by the way, consistency in sleep. So find a pattern and stick to it. If you're tired, take a power nap. Take 45 minutes out of your day and power nap.
Yeah, I did that yesterday, actually.
Nothing wrong with it. Recharge the batteries. It really helps.
Yeah. I lay down around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. I was out like a light.
And
listen to your body. Our bodies give us signals.
Absolutely.
And we owe it to ourselves to pay attention to them.
And then going back to sleep, all of this is going to progress into our notes, what we've talked about prior to this episode 6, which is health and well-being. Is the next part is they're all synonymous. The synergy of our system, soul, spirit, mind, body, is extremely important. And mental well-being will all be benefited by everything that we've said so far.
One benefits the other.
They really do.
Yeah. It all starts with the mind.
A positive mindset, cautiously optimistic, manifesting, laughter.
And it takes time. If you're used to thinking negatively, as I did for so many years, it's not going to happen overnight. Just like you're not going to get a university degree overnight. You have to have it in your mind's eye that you're going to slip. You might fall off the wagon here and there, but just fill your head with as much information, that positive information as you can consistently, and that will keep you on track.
Yeah, good point. And education is just, it's on top of that. It's just anything that you can do to better yourself.
Watch the Canadian Bro Show.
The Canadian Bro Show can be extremely beneficial to your mental well-being. And of course, you can always check and see, how our moves are compared to yours. And if ours are smaller, then what we're doing is working. You might need to do the same thing. And you could reach out, comment.
Yeah.
Comment, subscribe, like, feedback, positive, negative. Negative, of course, we can just delete.
Ideas for shows.
Ideas for shows.
Or if you want to be a guest on the show.
This is early. We're only 6 episodes.
Right.
We've got another we're doing this weekend. We're going to be doing novels. Favorite authors, writing. We both love novels and writing, and Johnny's a writer, and I've written a little bit in my life. So we're going to be doing that next. But getting back to the health and well-being, I mentioned education, reading, studying, really important for the mind, body, soul. Just learn to try to find a spiritual way to John mentioned yoga. I like meditation. Is to find a moment, a few moments in the day, and meditate, and go
Disengage
through
from the negative.
Go through a mantra of positivity,
Yeah.
of love, of learning, of self-love. Learn to love oneself.
It's not narcissism.
Not at all.
not,
no, it's that fine line
Love is an
between
incredible motivator. I mean, this has been my experience. It
love.
always will be.
If people ask what my religion is, love is my religion, as Amma says, and Buddhism and Taoism. But love is my religion,
And we're not dwelling on our pet peeves. We're not dwelling on other people's behaviors. Or
Nobody
world
wants
events.
to listen
We're
to.
thinking about what's within our control.
We're trying to be helpful to, perhaps we might say something today that it's going to click with you, and you're going to go, wow, it's that simple.
A new
Let's
thought,
do
a
it.
new idea.
And that's what we're trying to do. And
We're just reminding you of what maybe you've forgotten. 'Cause
Right.
Sometimes we forget. It should be common sense, but sometimes it's more like uncommon sense, the way some of us
That's
behave.
a good point. It's a very good point. And by educating and staying in the moment and learning about yourself and opening up to the possibilities, you're going to have continued growth, and you're going to find a way to, your spirit, soul, everything is going to grow. And your mind's going to follow, and you're going to be in a better place. We're both in a much better place than we've both been in
100%.
for pretty much all of our life recently.
I mean, before 2019, I looked at my life and I thought, well, this is as good as it's going to get.
Johnny wouldn't be here. And by the way, if I didn't have such an awesome wife, I've been married 25 years now, and it's quite remarkable. I probably wouldn't be here as well. And I'm glad that I do, and I'm glad I had the opportunity
And
to have.
she designed our logo.
And
Correct? Or was it
she-
co-production?
She worked with me because I'm kind of a control freak, in case you haven't noticed.
But in a good way.
It's like if you're not in control, somebody else is going to take that control from you.
You're organized,
right? and when I made the logo, I said, Johnny, you're my number one. And he goes, well, what happens if things don't work out? I say, hey, look, I can always superimpose another photo of someone else, or just do me. I was going to do me, and I thought, you know what? I'd rather have somebody that can bounce off me, and Johnny has been my number one choice, my only choice, and I hope that continues, and we hope we get 100 episodes
At least.
is our goal.
Bare minimum.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Let's have some fun.
The
Let's
sky's
do
the
it.
limit.
Absolutely. So getting back down, we've gone through
Infinity
half
and
of our
beyond.
list, which is really good. We've said some good things. The next thing to do is while you're going through all of this journey, this spiritual journey, this mental journey, this physical journey, find hobbies. Rediscover hobbies. Johnny's never left his hobbies. I've never left mine, but I've rediscovered them. And now that I don't play basketball professionally anymore, I don't play recreationally, I'm a fantasy basketball general manager.
That world.
Yeah, I have a basketball hobby, and I've been doing it since 2000. And I'm going to be doing a podcast. It's going to be called Hoop Junkie. It's going to be on top of this. I'm going to be doing a real estate podcast on Kelowna Urban Living and Vancity Urban Living. I'll be adding more content. I'm just going to add content. I'm going to have so much content that people are either going to be tuning in on a regular basis, or they're just going to say, this guy needs to get a job. I actually have a full-time job. I actually have more than one full-time job. I'm married. I'm a husband. I'm a house husband. I'm like a butler.
And so when do you get any sleep?
Well, it's important. I'm one of those guys that has to get 6 hours.
I always feel like I sleep more than I need to.
No, not at all.
No.
6 to 8 hours. By the way, we said this when we were prepping for this show. I like to throw out little tidbits of stats. And people apparently sleep 25 years.
Wow.
If you get to live to your 80.
How long?
Yeah, into your 80s or close to there. 25 years of our life we spend sleeping. Wow. So I want to make sure when I'm sleeping, I'm having good dreams. I'm having good sleep, deep
quality
sleep. Quality sleep. Quality life, quality of happiness, quality laughter, quality entertainment, quality chaps. Canadian
That's the nice
Bro
thing
Show.
about getting older. We have such
We
an
can grow
accumulation. Never let getting older be a negative.
No.
For me, it's been nothing but a win.
Motivational.
We become more aware of the finiteness of time. When we're young, we have a tendency to think that we're immortal and that there's always going to be tomorrow, and it's very easy to be complacent. But I sure don't feel that way now, and I think Pauly and I share that passion that we have for really, again, participating in life and not just sitting on the sidelines and criticizing what everybody else is doing.
Participation in life. It is so crucial. Get busy, get active, find hobbies, grab a book, go for a walk, go to a movie. Just keep busy. Go for a hike.
Take a news break.
Take a news, but have a
Yeah.
nap. Just do anything you want that's positive. Follow your intuition.
Right.
So the next thing we're going to go to, because all these are equally important, and I talk about hobbies. I mean, whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel interested. If you want, like Howard Stern decides to be an artist in his late 60s.
Oh, really?
Well,
He's a painter?
yeah, now
I
he
didn't know
paints.
that.
He paints little
for him.
flowers and for hours. And he's actually quite good. He's got great hands for, for a guy that's like 6'6", 147 pounds. He's, pretty amazing. But you can do anything that you want and
never sell
explore.
yourself short.
No,
All our
just explore.
limitations are self-imposed.
Explore. If it doesn't work out, try something different. But just keep on trying.
Right.
Keep on keeping on. And so the next the next thing I think is really important as you're working on your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, is you have to also practice reducing life stress. And one of the best things to do that, and people forget, is breathing.
Yes, very important. I have to remind myself of that when I'm doing my patrols of work. Sometimes I'll go for like 5 minutes without breathing, and I wonder why I feel like falling down. It's because I'm not breathing.
It's a good thing you don't pass out.
Yeah.
So breathe through the nose and exhale
The
through your
style.
mouth. And do this for 1 minute before you meditate or before you work out, and find your equilibrium.
I believe that so much sickness and illness, the wellspring, I don't know how scientific this opinion is, but it just comes from tension.
Yeah.
It comes from our bodies are tense, and we're thinking about things that are beyond our
Breathe,
control, and we're
relax.
worried, and we're fearful of the future.
Yeah.
And I think that by doing that, of course, you can be a positive person and still get sick,
Yeah,
but I think
absolutely.
that the chances of getting sick increase exponentially if we're living in this constant state of stress and anxiety.
If you feed the vessel in all the ways that we've just talked about and more, the vessel will be a much happier vessel.
And avoid sugar if you can. Sugar's the
Sugar
worst.
and
Sugar's
salt.
the devil of food.
Sugar, salt, and I would say booze as well.
I'm never going to be that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, both
The
of
weekends.
us partake in a little bit of libation.
We're weekend warriors in that sense.
but nowhere near what we did in the past, and I would never go back there. And
again, it feels earned.
well, I
it's a
mean,
reward.
it's not abused.
No.
And I changed I made a drink called vino tea, and it works, and it's essentially 6-7 different types of organic teas that are all berry based, acai.
Oh, I drink green tea
blueberry.
almost every day.
Well, green tea matches in it, green tea's in it.
Cancer fighter.
Hibiscus is in it, orange peel's in it, all of that's in it, and then I put 60% of that and 40% of whatever vino
Wow.
that I'd like, and that's my beverage of choice, and that's
Nice.
it, nothing else. I might have the occasion. I had a beer with Johnny recently. I haven't had a beer since the Cecil
beer.
the Cecil
Quotation
showroom
marks over the word,
closed. For those that don't know, the Cecil showroom, it closed. I was so upset, I quit drinking beer. And that was 13 years ago, 14 years ago. So anyways, it all goes. Now, the next thing you want to do is you
Sorry
want
to be an enabler.
yeah, no, I don't mind. I mean, look, my wife's teetotal. She doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do anything. The only thing she does is drink a lot of coffee and a lot of dark chocolate and tell me what to do on a regular basis. Borderline, not bullying, but just, she's Roman. She can't help herself. It's just one way or the highway. So I chose one way. Because, happy wifey, happy lifey. But getting back to happy lifey, age-defying foods, what you're putting in the vessel. I just want to throw some really super healthy power foods out there.
It's a very
Johnny,
long list.
no, it's the way, if he doesn't interrupt me, it's very short.
I think that was a hint.
Yeah. Well, it's because we know each other for 52 years. It's okay. Interjection's good. We both bounce it. We're both malleable. We can bounce off each other, right? We're just trying to present information, fresh information every
Right.
episode.
We're sharing.
Sharing
What
is
works
caring.
for us, and it will work
Right?
for you too.
We might get T-shirts one day. The Canadian Bro
Oh,
Show.
absolutely. Cups.
We'll have all kinds of
The
different
whole
things on it.
shebang. Towels. Frisbees.
So here's some superfoods that I eat and incorporate on a daily basis, almost daily basis for the most part. Avocados. And I put that in my power shake. And I also put it with smoked salmon on crunchies for my wife with capers and lemons and red peppers. It's incredible. Almonds, any nuts, but almonds are incredible.
Lots of protein.
Absolutely. And carrots.
Oh yeah, carrots. I'm big on carrots.
Love carrots.
Don't need
And
glasses. 20/20 vision.
I do
Knock
need
on wood.
glasses because I'm older and my eyes have, in the last 5 years, I've noticed significant change. So, it's just about finding the right eyewear that makes you comfortable, and this does. So, whatever. It doesn't even bother me anymore. Orange and red foods like tomatoes,
Beets.
beets.
Beets,
Excellent,
right?
Johnny. Beets. Oh,
Beets are the best for
I hated beets,
blood circulation.
but now I put that shite on everything. You know what I'm saying? And red and yellow and orange peppers, sweet potatoes, purple potatoes, cantaloupes, apricots, any carotenoids, any type of natural occurring pigments, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, just incredible, potent antioxidants. I take it in my power shake every day, my blueberries. And
how about spinach?
You can throw spinach in, but spinach is not the most powerful. Actually, collard greens is more powerful than kale. So right now I'm putting collard greens in everything. I wrap my salmon, I do collard greens and pan-sear it so it's crispy. And then I put a salmon fillet with some garlic and some onions, and I fold that over and I papillote it.
Wow.
In the collard greens.
I'm hungry.
In the next episode, we're going to do a follow-up on health and well-being.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to
do follow-ups on.
We're going to do a lot of follow-ups, but I take photos of every meal I make for my wife when it's a photo-worthy meal. So I've got thousands of photos, and in health and well-being, I'll just put some of the recipes that I've done, and put them in there just for a laugh. And people will say,
"You could do a cooking podcast."
We can do
like the Galloping Gourmet.
Maybe we will, but we've got a lot of stuff to do. We're just going to focus on getting through this one. And again, so we're we're down to anti-inflammatory ingredients like broccoli, cauliflower, broccolini, Brussels sprouts. Those are all superfoods. They help just clean the whole system out.
I have psoriasis, and so anyone out there, if you don't mind me to check
this
a little bit.
Please.
So anyone out there who has psoriasis, is very common a skin condition. I have found that from not eating sugar, or let's just say dramatically curtailing the amount of sugar put in my body, I used to have red, scaly patches on my skin. Well, they've reduced by almost 100%. I still have a little bit of flakiness on my scalp, but it is a huge improvement over what it used to be. And also, I use a medicated shampoo called Sebcure, SEB-CUR. Anyone out there who has psoriasis, again, very common.
Yeah.
It can be a heartbreaking, the heartbreak of psoriasis, like the old commercials from the 1970s. So my heart goes out to you. For goodness sakes, invest in Sebcure. I'm not getting paid to say this. It's about $30.
Maybe someday in the future we might, but.
And yeah, we're planting a seed.
Yeah.
And so I bathe in this stuff once a week, and holy moly, just the results have been absolutely astounding. Remember some of my earlier workout videos? Check out my remember all the flakiness?
I do. Listen, I've got one of my other friends, chef.
It's 100%. There's
one of my other chef.
Their piece of skin.
One of my
off,
friend,
right?
My friend chef,
now.
love you chef. I don't know if you ever watched, but he's got it head to toe. His entire body.
It's very sad.
And it's really bad, and it's thick. It's scaly. It's almost like he looks like a lizard.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It is.
And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But Johnny, like everything that you've challenged yourself, you've been able to fight.
At least by 80%.
Yeah.
The psoriasis is hereditary, but it's also mitigated by, as we talked about earlier, stress and poor diet and lack of exercise.
Which is getting back to
attitude.
What you're putting into your body. Into your mind, your soul, your spirit, everything. This is the only vessel we have. You've got to take care of it.
That's right.
And
you got to deal the cards you're dealt.
And also you think about age-related issues.
We're coming up on 35.
Yeah, I see that. And liver, eat liver, copper.
I don't think I've ever had liver in my
liver's
whole life.
liver's
is it an acquired taste.
It is an acquired taste, but if you get young liver.
Yeah.
Instead of old liver is bitter. Young liver, like calf liver, and you get a ton of onions, white onions, yellow onions, and red onions, and you saute the crap out of it, and you take that bitterness out with the young liver. Liver can be really good, and it has amazing. It helps hair pigmentation. It helps the eyes. It helps clean the blood system. There's so many things. The body's amazing. I'm not a doctor. Johnny and I are doctors.
We're lay people.
These are just what
you don't need
we
to be
do.
A doctor.
We do.
Stuff,
just
right?
educate. Find out what you like. Find out what your body needs, and do it. And also supplementation. I take vitamins.
To what works.
I take vitamins every day with my Power Shake.
You take omega-3?
I do. Omega-3 6s and 9s because
I take a multivitamin, vitamin C, D3, and B12.
Keep on doing it. And then nuts and seeds.
And vitamin C.
And vitamin C, vitamin D. No vitamin D today. Actually, it was raining on the way over, which is weird. But, like Brazil nuts, cashew nuts, sunflower seeds, things like mackerel and sardines and crab meat all have these amazing, healthy, fatty
all natural
oils.
Peanut butter. I'm very big on.
Oh, I love peanut butter. And
veggie.
and you can also go
together.
with almond. Tahini is incredible. If you want that sort of
I try to eat a
thing.
little bit of veggie with almost everything I eat because I think it's good for regularity.
And then you can't forget
Water.
fish, whitefish, haddock, cod, halibut, ling cod. A lot of that's packed with iodine. Iodine's another amazing. Extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed, first time cold pressed if you can find it. It's very expensive. If not, get the cheaper version. You can get extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil in the big vats at Costco.
Oil of oregano.
Oregano or avocado.
That's supposed to be good for the skin.
You want to get high burn points on those too. Stay away from canola oil. Stay away from GMO. Don't do it. It's just, it's absolute trash. It'll kill your system. Then there's things like legumes, lentils, peas, black beans. All of those have high fiber.
Right. Yeah,
and
fiber is
so
very important,
everything that I've
especially
just
at our age.
talked about, I incorporate on a daily basis all the time. And at the end of the day, there's so many things that we can do for our bodies, for our soul, for
We
our
have
spirit.
free will. Never forget.
And don't
You're
give
not a
up on
slave to your
yourself.
diet.
Stay true to yourself. At the end of the day, if no one's going to believe in you, you've got to believe in yourself. And we're not going to sound like some self-help infomercial because we're not. And,
That's okay.
But at the end of the day, we really both care about our journey. We've been on this journey. We're not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm addicted to it. I've always
I want to live
enjoyed.
forever and ever.
Well,
I have a lot more stories to tell.
I
a lot more podcasts
I
to do.
believe we will live forever and ever. I believe our spirit and
And
soul
again, it's all
lives
about
on.
quality of life.
Yeah.
And if you feel that the quality of your life is a little less than it can be, guess what? Welcome to the human race.
Yeah.
But you just need to make better choices.
Just
and
do
you'll
something about it.
discover that it's absolutely worth it.
Do something
because
about it. And
the
it's okay.
feeling-
Call your doctor up. Guys are terrible. Call your doctor
Yeah,
up and
we're
say,
not
listen,
very big on.
I don't
Unless
feel.
this is like falling off.
Well, if you're uncomfortable about something, call it, because guys are just the worst. They won't call their doctors. And so when I
I'm
had
still
my
that
thing
way.
last January or February, I called my doctor. What do I need to do? This is how I feel. This is where I think I have. And they said, okay, do this blood test, do this sonograph, do this, do that. I did that, did a second blood test, third blood test, went to a liver specialist, did that. And finally, 18 months later, I'm 196 pounds today. I was 240 pounds last January.
Very inspiring.
And it's the first time I've been,
Congratulations.
thank you. It's the first time I've been under this weight in over 16 years. And I'm almost 60 years old. So if we can do it,
Right.
a couple of just working Joes over here, you can do it.
Age is just a number.
And just, it starts with one day where you say, I've had enough, and you believe in yourself, and you get up,
Right.
and you do it. Find a system, get systematic, get a program, educate, read, get motivated, stay busy, and it works, man.
100%.
It's the best thing in the world.
And the more that our thoughts are in the here and now, the more that we're not thinking about the past because it's beyond our control. We're not thinking about the future so much because I think that we have a tendency, or maybe it's just me, but I think we have a tendency to worry when we think about the future. All of our power lies in here and now. I mean, we could be doing a lot of different things right now. I could be lying on the couch pounding down junk food, watching Netflix. Nothing against Netflix. I'd like to see a Lee Hackland TV series on Netflix down the road. But I'd rather be doing this because it's engaging.
Shameless plug.
Well, just sliding it in there subtly.
I'd be watching NBA Summer League right now. It's the finals of Summer League, so,
Are we coming to a close?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day,
Anything
we just...
more on your list?
No, I mean, I think that's it.
Check it twice?
No, I mean, we're going to...
Naughty and nice?
No, it's we got about... we're just under 40 minutes, and we really want to keep it around 35 to 40 minutes, right? Because everyone's got busy days. And, but, at the end of the day, Johnny and I are proof that at this elevated state where we're considered...
We're not bragging about it.
No, not at all. It's
just
just
feel
our
good about it.
reality. Our
Yeah.
society looks at us as seniors. We're old. And of course, that mindset is a negative connotation right there.
Right.
We're not seniors.
It's
We're
a
adults.
Big pile of BS. is
We're
what it is.
adults. We're just adults that are in good shape. We're healthy. We have a good mindset.
We love life.
We do love life.
100%.
And we care about life, and we care about our friendship.
And
We
we have
care about
goals.
our jobs. We care about our families.
Right.
And if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to do it for you?
Exactly.
Johnny and Paul can help. And we will. You just got to keep watching us. Keep coming back. Watch our shows. Tell us what you think. Give us feedback. If you're interested in a show and you like what we're doing and you like Johnny and Pauly,
We
let
want
us
to
know.
engage. We want to interact.
Absolutely.
With all of you
And
wonderful
we
people.
we just thank you
Thank you so much.
from the bottom of our hearts, really, that we're able to do this. And Johnny, to finish up, we want to do two things on a regular basis. We're going to do a pun of the day,
Very excited.
and we're going to do what we're reading currently.
Oh, okay. You
So
wanna do that too?
Johnny's going to do you want to get your book first?
Okay, sure.
I'm going to grab my book too.
All right.
It's right
Okay,
here.
First the pun. I have a friend who writes songs about sewing machines. He's a singer-songwriter, or so it seems.
No, it's
He's a great audience. Okay, here we go. Well, we did an episode on comic books. So this
dude,
is kind of
the
an
dude
continuation.
is talented. Trust me.
Well, that's courtesy of the
That's not
internet.
his own writing.
Would life be without the internet? No, I didn't write that one. I wish I could take credit for it.
Right.
Well, we did an episode on comic books. I saw this at Indigo yesterday, and I couldn't help myself. This is the original Stan Lee and Steve Ditko,
Wow.
the first 10 or 15 issues of Spider-Man.
Wow.
And the writing is so. I mean, it's a comic book. It's
Yeah.
kind of written for kids.
Yeah.
But it's just the character development. Like J. Jonah Jameson, the Peter Parker's boss.
Yeah.
Such a funny character, and his hatred of Spider-Man, not realizing that his pet photographer is very, very charming stuff. Anyway, this is a great read, and it's a little bit pricey, but I don't regret it. So that's my choice for
It just
today.
shows that you could be retired and considered seniors by society and still enjoy comics.
Absolutely. You never feel stigmatized by what you like.
Don't grow up.
No.
Stay.
Well, be true to yourself.
Stay
This
young.
above all, to thine own
Stay
self
young.
be true.
I'm going to bring up a book I put in one of our earlier episodes because I was thinking of my grandfather. And my grandfather, Mr. Cornelius Michael Pine, everyone called him Corny, except me. He wouldn't let me call him. I just call him Gramps because it was close to Grumps. And you know how some people, when they get older, can be a little grumpy and a little Cornelius. But Gramps was awesome.
Kids today.
And he was 97 when I was last with him. I saw him
Good
3
run.
days before he passed. And my wife and I had the pleasure of spending the last year of his life pretty much with him in Kelowna, taking care of him on a daily basis, hanging out, going for lunch. And he was an awesome dude. And he was in the Korean War and he was in the Second World War. And he gave me this book on the SAS called Rogue Heroes by Ben McIntyre, who's a celebrated award-winning author. And it's the beginning, the history and the beginning of the SAS. And very violent, but it's just
Thank you for your service.
thrilling. Yeah,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Not just for Gramps and his 3 brothers that all passed and were in the war as well. I mean, when you were a Catholic Irish guy in Ireland, you had 2 routes. Stop being Catholic or go to the war. And be Protestant and join the workers,
Yeah.
or go to the war. And so they all went to the war. But Rogue Heroes is just an unbelievable. I've only read about a third of it, but it is so captivating. And I'm going to
Nothing but love and respect for
I'm
our,
going
for
to
our
Jericho Beach after this because it was the Jericho Folk Festival this weekend. And it's always fun. You can hear the music, and it's awesome. But that's my book.
Good choice.
And I don't have a pun, but
Okay.
on behalf of Johnny and myself,
Thank you,
Pauly,
sir.
we thank you for joining us for episode 6
Thank you so much.
on health and well-being. And
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. And
It's not
comment,
too late.
like,
We're living proof.
subscribe. We really appreciate it. And next episode, we're going to be doing our favorite authors and writers and books and novels. Thanks
Very
again for
exciting.
joining us.
Thank you.
Peace.
Don't forget, God loves you. And if you don't believe in God, He believes in you.
God's with us all.
Bye.
Take care. Peace.
Thank you.